Welcome back to the class Managing Organizations and Entrepreneurship. Today we will discuss on the topic of the risk measurement, that is the subtopic of the risk and uncertainty. Before getting into the discussions on the risk measurement, I would like you know the learning objectives of this topic. You need to make sure that you meet all the learning objectives after you completed these topics. Firstly, I expect that you know the concept of the expected rate of return. Secondly, I expect you have the idea how you can measure risk. Right, as a result of the learning objectives, we will discuss on the two main topics that are the expected rate of return and the risk measurement, as you can see here on this page. Well, shall we start these topics with the expected rate of return? Right, the expected rate of return here refers to the return that the business owner or the entrepreneur like you guys expect to receive based on your business or based on your investment. I just want to share with you the concept. I'm saying that the concept, right? The concept of how to calculate the expected rate of return. But I do not expect you can calculate the expected return on your exam. Therefore, don't worry or panic on these calculations. Okay, how to calculate the expected rate of return of your business? Right, firstly, you should think about the probability of the economic conditions that might be occur, such as strong economic conditions, normal economic conditions, or weak economic conditions, and the expectations of the return of each economic conditions. For example, during the strong economic conditions, your business will generate profit, right? We multiply the probability that may happen, the economic conditions, with the expected return of each economic conditions. We then sum up the expected return of each economic conditions. We then get the expected rate of return. Well, at this point on this page, you got the idea, right? How you can calculate the expected rate of return of your business. Here you are on this page, the example of the expected rate of return calculations. As the example you can see here on this page, you are considering to invest your $10,000, right, in a new business startup. You expect to invest probably in a rental car business or a boutique hotel, probably in Chiang Rai. Suppose the rental car business bring you the return as the table on this page. May I ask you, right, what are the expected rate of return of rental car and boutique hotel? I then would like to know which business you should invest. Here on this page, you can notice from the table that the probability to happen the strong economic conditions is 0.3 or 30%, right? The probability to happen the normal economic conditions is 0.5 or 50%, right? And the probability to happen the weak economic conditions is 0.2 or 20%. When you sum the probability of the strong, normal, and weak economics need to equal 1 or 100%. Okay, this is the concept as well. during the strong economic conditions, saying the rental car business probably bring you guys 8% or $800. During the normal economic conditions, the rental car will bring you 6% or $600. While during the weak economic conditions, right, the rental car business, the same business will bring you minus or loss for $200. Right, you can follow me at this page. Okay, after this, I suggest you multiply the 0.3 with 8% for expected return of rental car business during the strong economic conditions. Right, okay, we go like a step by step. Then you repeat, right, you repeat the same process of expected return of rental car business during normal and during weak economic conditions, right? You then sum up the 2.4%, 3% and minus 0.4%. Right, finally you will get the expected return of rental car at 5%, as you can see here on the table of this page. Again, in the case of the boutique hotel, right, you can repeat the same process as I calculate for you guys like a rental car. You then get the expected rate of return of the boutique hotel at 9.5%. Well, at this stage, you have the idea, right? You have the concepts. I expect you crystal clear the concept how you can calculate the expected rate of return of the business that you expect to invest in. Well, on this page, I show you how you calculate the expected rate of return of both rental car business and boutique hotel business. At this point, we will continue the risk measurement. As the basic risk measurement tool, right, I would like to introduce the two main risk measurement tools. The first tool is the standard deviation. We use SD as the abbreviations of standard deviations. The second tool of the risk measurement should be coefficients of variations. Right, we use CV as the abbreviations of coefficients of variations. Right, I will share you in which situations you should use standard deviations to measure risk, and in which situation you should use the coefficients of variations to measure risks. Well, at this point, we will start the risk measurement tool with the standard deviations. Here you are on this page. What is the standard deviations? Right, the standard deviation is the statistics tool that used to measure the dispersions of the data from the expected value or the expected return. In this case, it means that standard deviation measure the dispersions of tentative rate of return from expected return. Right, okay. The concept of the standard deviations is a lower value of standard deviations mean the tentative value closer to the expected return, comparing with the high standard deviations. Saying, if there are two values of the standard deviations, saying 7 and 12. 7 is the low standard deviations, right? Well, the 12 is the high standard deviations. If I ask you guys to choose which business you should select, right? You should select the project with what? With lower standard deviations at 7, because the dispersions of the tentative return is closer to the expected return, comparing with the higher standard deviations of 12. Well, at this point, I expect you have the idea, you have the concept how to interpret the standard deviations. At this stage, right, you got the concept, right? You should select the projects or the business that bring you lower standard deviation, right? You already got this concept. On this page, I show you the example of the standard deviations for more understandings. In this case, I suppose the expected rate of return of a rental car and restaurant business, saying 5% and 5% respectively. Can you notice what I'm said? In terms of the expected rate of return of the two businesses, right? 5% and 5%, right? Suppose the standard deviations of rental car business saying 3. Why the standard deviations of restaurant business saying 7? Well, may I ask you which business you should select? Okay, right, correct, right, you are right. You should select to invest the business that bring you lower standard deviations. You then select to invest in the rental car business. Well, at this point, we will move to the concept of the coefficients of variations. We use CV, right, stand for coefficients of variations. Okay, on this page, here you are. What is the coefficients of variations? Right, the CV or the coefficients of variations is a kind of the statistics tool to measure what? To measure the degree of variations from one data series to another. You need to focus what I'm saying here. I say that we use CV or the coefficients of variations to measure the degree of variations even if the means or the expected rate of return of those business are different, right? Okay, you got the keyword, right? I repeat again that we use coefficients of variations to measure the risks of the business in case the expected return of those business are different. Okay, comparing with the standard deviations, you guys, you can use standard deviation to measure risks of the business that bring you same expected rate of return, right? On the other hand, if the two businesses bring you different return, right? You need to use what? You need to use coefficients of variations or CV, right? To measure the risks of those businesses. On this page, I would like you have the idea, the concept how to select the business that bring you less risks by using coefficients of variations. You can notice here from this page that the higher the CV, right, the higher the coefficients of variations. What does it mean? It means the greater the level of dispersions allow the expected return, right? While the lower the value of the coefficients of variations means the more precise the estimate. As a result, right, you should select the business that bring you less coefficients of variations. Well, at this stage, I expect you have the idea how to use coefficients of variations to measure the risks of your business. Again, on this page, I show you the example of the CV, the example of the coefficients of variations. Can you follow me? Yeah, suppose the expected return of the two businesses here, saying rental car and boutique hotel. Rental car bring you the expected return at 5%, right? While the boutique hotel brings you 9.5%. In case of the expected rate of return without CV, without coefficients of the variations data, exactly, you should select to invest in the boutique hotel, right? Why? Because you can see here on this page that the boutique hotel bring you 9.5%. That greater than the rental car that bring you only 5%. However, you guys, you are a smart entrepreneur, right? Who concern the risk measurement, right? You use the coefficients of variations to make sure the risk of the business. The CV of the rental car is 0.6, right? You can notice here on this page. The CV of the rental car is 0.6, while the CV of the boutique hotel is 0.95. You then realize that the boutique hotel business contain more risk, right? It's riskier than the rental car business. So what is your decision making, right? You then select to invest in the rental car instead, right? Well, at this stage, we already completed the risk measurement part. I expect you get back to the learning objective of these topics and make sure that you meet all learning objectives.